Hi, welcome to this week's Warhammer Imperium, issue 20. It's a paint issue. I know how you feel about these things. Let's just get it open and we'll have a look. So we get 2 pots of paint and our magazine. Now, let's grab some of those. Bring those into it in a sec. Right, so paint aside. Issue 20, we get 2 paints. 2 new paints with this issue. Learn about the Emperor, expanded rules reference. So Ultramarines Strike Force. Like most Space Marine chapters, the Ultramarines rarely go to war in full force. Instead, they are divided into smaller strike forces, each capable of fighting alone and emerging victorious, no matter the odds. Space Marines Strike Forces are at the forefront of the Imperium's effort to liberate Pariah Nexus from the NECRON control. You have Strike Force commanders comprised of a captain and his 2 lieutenants. Record the names of each member of your Strike Forces chapter command in the spaces below. So you have the Primaris captain, you can name him. Primaris lieutenant, you can name him lieutenant in Phobos armor. So that's interesting. And Strike Force name generator. So prefix, suffix, and you're looking at a D6. So Spearhead, Alpha, Force, Ramesses, Militum, Pariah, and you've got Celeris, Melitoris, Purgatus, Imperialis, Vehement, and Antigone. Right. We are also looking at so this is kind of like giving extra info. So we've got our librarian that we've already got, and then it's listing names. You can name your 3 assault intercessor squads. So you've got your assault intercessors of the 3 that we got in issue 3. The 2 squads of 5 assault intercessors that we've had. We've got the aggressors, then we have outriders and invader ATV. We have the Firestrike Servo Turret. We have the Veterans, the Victrix Honor Guard, and then the Vanguard Squad. So we've got Infiltrator Squad, Eliminator Squad, and Suppressor Squad. So these are obviously confirming some of the extra bits and pieces that we're definitely getting. Necron Tomb World, your Tomb World, and again, Tomb World name generator, prefix, suffix. So prefix is a Drakmars, Imanek, Serpents, Solemn, Zamankar, Tenebrous, or Tenebrous, and the suffix is Jewel, Crag, Fane, Crypt, Precipice, or Scar. And again, with just like the Space Marines before it, we are obviously looking at confirmation of some of the other bits and pieces that we're going to be getting. So we've obviously had the Overlord, we've had the Royal Warden, we've had the Technomancer. We'll be getting a Chronomancer, a Plasmancer, and a Lich Guard. Legion, we've got the Warriors, so you've got the Warriors 3, and then the 2 groups of 10. Then you have Immortals, Tomb Blades, and Death Marks. Outcasts, obviously we've got the Scorpec Lord coming. Scorpec Destroyers we've had, Locust Heavy Destroyer coming, and Flayed Ones we've had, and then Canoptic Constructs. We've got Scarab Swarms, 2 of those. We're getting this, obviously the second set of Scarab Swarm in some later issues, and then we've got the Canoptic Spider, Canoptic Wraiths, and Canoptic Reanimator. And we also have a Triarch Stalker that you can name. Right, so that's that. Information blurb about the Emperor and his entombment on the Golden Throne. Little bit of info about the Adeptus Custodes. Technological boons. Necron science has given birth to a myriad of technologies. all far in advance of anything possessed by the lesser races. Nobles, cryptex, and the Necron elite possess eldritch machinery that can alter the flow of time, turn incoming fire aside, and transport entire armies across the galaxies. So we've got chronometrons, dispersion shields, endless invention, nano scarab reanimation beams, quantum shielding, and translocators. So there you go. Right, then we're coming into some how to paint with our two new paints, which is Khorne Red and Trollslayer Orange. And it's giving you some areas to paint on the aggressors and your captain. You can also, if you want to, add it to your plasma pistols. And then Trollslayer Orange is being used as sort of like a rust colour on some of the scenery pieces. Okay, and then the gallery so far. NECRONS rules, reanimation protocols. So we're looking at information on how to reanimate your Necrons, which is something that they can do in game. And this will tell you how it's done. And then we have a rules reference. This updated rules reference contains all of the rules you will need to follow the phases of the game. You will need to refer to these pages as you follow the playthrough. So command phase, movement phase, extra rules, so vertical engagement range, etc. Unit, vertical unit coherency, reinforcements, how to reinforcements, psychic phase, shooting phase, attack sequence, weapons, symbols, grenade stat lines, charge phase, and fight phase. So those are all the ones that we've gone through so far. We are then mission briefings amidst shattered ruins, both Necron and human in origin. The fractured remnants of Ultramarines and Necron forces do battle. Both forces seek only to utterly destroy one another and grind the remains of their opponents to dust. Destroying the living. Scorpec destroyers. Drawn by the escalating violence, Scorpec destroyers stalk their organic foes. Their hatred of the living driving them to ever greater acts of violence. Primaris aggressors purge the Xenos. The only cure for a Xenos invasion is cleansing fire. Aggressors have been deployed to the front lines to help their battle brothers annihilate the Necrons. Now, we're playing on the small battle bat. We've got 5 Necron warriors, 3 assault intercessors, 2 Scorpec destroyers, and 2 aggressors. And looks like Space Marines go first in this particular playthrough. And there you go. And again, the same information that we had from the last magazine is again on the back with regards to War on Xiphos. And there you go. Rangers 21 and 22. So let's have a look at the paint, shall we? So you get 2 paints. Let's bring you down. Hi there. So you get Khorne Red and Trollslayer Orange. Now, I've been looking forward to getting this one because I want to use it for the Poxwalkers that came with the Dark Imperium box set. I've kind of like been putting that off, knowing that I was getting this colour in the magazine. I've avoided getting it, and I want to use this colour for their dungarees and remnants of clothing, etc. And Khorne Red is a great base colour as well. You can use it for basing cordage, ceremonial cordage, lanyards, that sort of thing, tabards, cloaks, and whatever. Now, I do know that some people obviously don't appreciate the fact that it's gone down to 2 pots of paint per magazine, and they see that as a not value for money. I see it a little bit differently because we're getting the magazine and the paint, whereas a lot of people just see it as the paint, you know, is the value. To me, the magazine is also the value, but I do appreciate that Games Workshop and Hachette could have sat down and worked things out a little bit differently. Now, I do think that they could have done things slightly differently. We've had some paintbrushes in the sets. We've had extra dice come in the magazines. And I certainly think that, for example, we could have had some dice, or maybe the dry brushing brush that came with the the librarian could have been included with this particular issue. The other thing that I think that GW are missing out on are that I don't know if they will, but I think they're missing out on the fact that they could easily just slip in a set of decals. So we know we're going to be getting Sisters Battle, we know we're getting AdMech, obviously Space Marines, and we're going to be getting Necron vehicles, etc. And I do believe that it wouldn't have taken too much with these issues where you only get 2 pots of paint if they slipped in a set of decals, you know, for the different factions that we're getting within the magazine. And certainly I don't think that that would be too much of an ask. So GW, if you're watching, let's have some decals, because we know that if you buy the Skitarii Rangers in a box set, they come with a set of decals, you know, and certainly when you buy Sisters, they come with a set of decals. It would be nice to receive something like that within our magazine. But that's my take on it. You know, we get the paints and the magazine. It's not just the paints total, the value, you know, of our expenditure, because we're getting, like I said, the magazine and the paints. But I also do think that GW have perhaps missed a trick in not including other things. Certainly putting in the extra battle mat with the paints would have been nice. Putting in some like the paint brushes that we've been getting with the paints rather than with a miniature. The extra dice that we got with the I think it was the Overlord could have been put in a dice issue, a paint issue, you know, just so that people feel they're getting a little bit more value. But, you know, there you go. It is what it is. So, join me in the next one and we will be looking at some Skitarii. All right, take care. Bye.